Today on the Philly Tall Podcast, it's official. We know who the Eagles square off against in Brazil. Plus, it's being reported today that the Eagles are working hard to extend DeVonta Smith and are in contract negotiations. That's not all. The Eagles' option to trade for Josh Allen is no longer there. However, the Eagles do bring in another top 30 visit, this time a wide receiver who's gigantic, the biggest wide receiver in the draft. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Tall Podcast, and today we got a lot to get into, but before we do that, Eagle Nation, can I ask y'all for a quick favor? Help your boy out, hit that like, subscribe if you are new, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So it is official, as you could see to the left, but now on the main screen, the Eagles will take on the Packers in Brazil Week 1. With the Eagles being considered a home team, we will lose one game in Philly, but as Super Bowl contenders, we are built to handle it. This is going to be a good game, though. Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles, Green Bay Packers, two of the better teams in the NFC going head-to-head Week 1. One of these teams is going to start out 0-1, and the other one's going to be sitting pretty at 1-0, beating an NFC contender. So give me your super way too early score predictions for this game. I know we still got the draft and more free agency, but let's have a little bit of fun. Moving on to another top 30 visit per John Clark. He tweeted yesterday, I'm told 6'6", but some people have him at 6'7", 230-pound Florida State receiver Jonny Wilson is visiting with the Eagles today at the NovaCare complex. Interesting. The Eagles have had their eyes on a couple wide receivers in this upcoming draft. A lot of them later round picks, some earlier though. I'm not sure where exactly Jonny Wilson falls, and he does have some concentration drops on his resume, but 6'7", he ran a 4.5 at the combine. His footwork is different from other big, tall wide receivers that I've seen. And although at 6'7", 230, he can go up and get 50-50 balls on the outside, Florida State like using him across the middle because of his big body, willing to take a hit, ability to get off the line with his feet, plus physicality with his long arms. It's going to be interesting if the Eagles actually draft a wide receiver, and if they do, when and where, because we do have some needs on the defensive side of the ball. Staying with wide receivers for the Eagles in the 2024 draft, Word on the Board tweeted yesterday, proposed trade by Martin Frank, who does cover the Eagles. He said, the Eagles receive number 16 overall and select LSU wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr.? Huh? The Seahawks will receive number 22 and 161 and a 2025 third-round pick. The thing is, I'm not mad at Martin Frank proposing this trade, right? The Eagles moving up to 16 to select who they want. But if you do that, Howie's going to most likely get an offensive lineman or one of the top corners or defensive players in the draft. Why would we move up, give up capital for a wide receiver where if we do draft a wide receiver, like I talked about earlier, it got to be in the middle rounds? That cannot be a priority unless Martin Frank is suggesting that we either let go of one A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith really soon, but that is not happening. So moving up to 16 by giving up that capital makes sense if you want your guy. Offensive line, defensive end, cornerback, but not for a wide receiver, especially with this report about DeVonta Smith. JPA Football and a bunch of other Eagle outlets report the Eagles are working hard to sign star wide receiver DeVonta Smith to a contract extension, and there's optimism a deal can get done in the near future per Tim McManus. Now, this ain't breaking news. We all knew that DeVonta Smith was going to be extended. You hear how the Eagles front office talk about him. Now, remember, we do have till May 2nd to exercise the fifth-year option, which I don't believe is going to be necessary. Before May 2nd, we will have the numbers for the new extension for DeVonta Smith, keeping him probably through the season of 2028. That would be my guess. No way Howie Roseman extended Landon Dickerson, Jordan Mailata, Josh Sweat, and Reed Blankenship just to exercise the fifth-year option on DeVonta Smith. Let all these other wide receivers a la CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Amon St. Brown, Jalen Waddle all get paid before him. How he's always been first to the market, that is what he prides himself on, and that's one thing I love. As for the possibility of the Eagles trading for Josh Allen, the defensive end slash linebacker who was disgruntled in Jacksonville due to the fact that he was on a franchise tag he didn't want to play for, that's no more. Adam Schefter tweeted today, Pro Bowl linebacker Josh Allen reached an agreement on a 5-year, $150 million contract that includes $88 million guaranteed, sources tell ESPN. Allen had a Jaguars franchise record 17 and a half sacks last season, and this is why y'all were telling me we need to go get this guy, which I was all for. If he was disgruntled, if he was going to hold out, I would have loved to trade for him. But now he's making $30 million per year, and he's going to be with the Jaguars for 5 years. So that is definitely off the table for the Eagles. However, if you are a star pass rusher, A minus, A plus playmaker at that position, you're going to get 27 to 30 million. It's just the going rate. As the cap goes up, certain positions just go up more than other positions. This is why if you want to stack D-line, you're going to have some high-end money players on there, but you also need some of your rookies. If you draft defensive end rookies, they're going to have to show up, and this is why number 3, Nolan Smith, is going to be asked to step up big time. Like I said, early in 2024, he'll be a rotation piece. Bryce Huff starts, Josh Sweat starts. But I expect Nolan Smith to cut into one of their minutes big time. We need him to. We need production in the next 3 years from Nolan Smith on a rookie deal. As for Fletcher Cox's retirement speech, it wasn't as emotional as Jason Kelce's. However, there were some heartfelt moments for sure. He talked about the Eagles drafting him as a kid, making him a man, talked about how much he loved the game. He wished it was a joke that he was retiring. He talked about possibly being in the Hall of Fame. Just a lot of great moments as a Philadelphia Eagle and how much he takes pride in this city, being with only one team. But I love what he said here as well. When people look back at my career, the biggest thing I want them to look at is the way I played the game, the honest way I played the game. The younger guys, they looked at me for leadership, and I still want the younger guys to call me for leadership advice. When guys like Fletch and Kelce retire, they don't just leave the organization. They'll always be a part of this great city and the locker room. So hopefully guys like Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, Jordan Davis ain't afraid to pick up the phone if they're going through some adversity, because we're expecting big things from all of them, including Jordan Davis, who a lot of y'all keep calling a bust and or think can't get it right. I'm not going to lie, this is a big year for him, but I think he's going to step up to the challenge, especially with his brother in the same room, Jalen Carter, who had a terrific rookie season, derailed a little bit by the coaching staff at the end, but I'm looking for a huge year 2. He's already got comparisons to Aaron Donald, who did retire, who put big praise on Kelce's name, of course, but Jalen Carter leading that D-tackle room. Jordan Davis is going to have no choice to step up to the challenge because Jalen Carter is a stud. I think Jordan Davis can do it, but if he don't, Milton Williams ain't going to wait patient on the sideline. He's going to want to get into the rotation, and if Jalen Carter and Milton Williams are doing more work, well, then Jordan Davis is going to have to be the rotational piece, and then from there, we could talk about, was he worth the 13th overall pick in the 2022 draft. Lastly, how would y'all feel if this was the Madden cover for 2025? 2 GOATs, both retired, one offensively, one defensively. They used to battle it out, D-tackle versus center. I think this will be a great Madden cover. Shout out to Philadelphia Eagles Central who made it. Hey, Madden, check it out. It looks good to me. With all that being said, I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. Do your boy a favor and hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. Leave the muscle emoji. Y'all been slacking on that. And let me know all your thoughts. I love hearing from you. We out.